Activision presents a smashing blast from the past. Developed by Vicarious Visions. It's Crash Bandicoot!
Hey there guys, Gaming Speculator here, and welcome to the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I've been excited to do this one. Crash is back, baby, and he's better than ever. In amazing 4K.
It's Crash Bandicoot!
Dr. Cortex said it best. Let's get right into this one, guys. I'm excited. Get excited!
But, Dr. Cortex, we haven't determined the cause of past failures.
Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time, I shall reign triumphant. We are closer than ever before. Quickly, into the vortex.
Dr. Cortex, the vortex is not ready. We have no idea what it could do.
Failure again. Capture him!
Uh-oh.
Prepare the female Bandicoot.
So this is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Complete remakes of the first 3 games done by the team of Vicarious Visions, who worked on the Game Boy Advance titles, such as the Huge Advance, Entranced, and Crash Bandicoot Purple. Also responsible for Crash Nitro Kart on the PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, and also Game Boy Advance. If there was ever a team that I wanted to see bring back Crash Bandicoot, I think Vicarious Visions was one of the best options. They're very well known for making a lot of really good Skylander games. They've actually made my 2 favorite Skylander games, Swap Force and Superchargers, so I had a lot of faith in them. And to test their faith, they actually made the Crash Bandicoot Thumpin' Wumpin' Islands level for Skylanders Imaginators to see how well it would be received, and obviously it was received very well, so they got the green light to make the original trilogy from the ground up. Kind of. Naughty Dog was actually generous enough to give them the original coding, so with that, they were able to make the levels from the wire meshes, but that's all they were given, just like the wire mesh outlines of all the levels. They would have to go on to make everything else, and this game looks incredible. If you're going to play any version of Crash 1, the Insane Trilogy version is by far the best way to go. So what we just got there was a gem. Gems are your collectibles to get the perfect ending in this game. Also here, I'm going to show off the much better save system. You can see my practice profile right up there. The save system was really poorly handled in the original, but we'll get to that rant in a minute. But I need to talk about the gems. So, you can see that box counter at the top? There are an assortment of boxes in the level, and if you want to get the gem, you must break every single crate. In the original game, you had to play every single level without dying and breaking every crate to get the gem. You died, you had to quit the level and go back in. In this game, they're a lot more generous. You can die as many times as you want, and you'll still collect the gem. It's such a nice addition. Also, I should probably talk about what's going on right here. Crash has picked up the Aku Aku mask. It works as a hit point system. Once Crash collects 3 of them, he is temporarily invincible, so he can plow through enemies. And there's a lot going on, and I know I'm kind of skipping past it all, but Crash has 2 main abilities for attacking, jumping and spinning. The spin is the most reliable for dealing with ground enemies, but jumping is best handled for dealing with smaller enemies that you can jump on. And we just collected 3 Tana bonus tokens. Tana is Crash's girlfriend that we saw in the opening cinematic. Collect all 3 of them to enter her bonus round, which is a pretty straightforward and very short challenge in which Crash must platform through in a 2D environment, break a few boxes, and it's pretty easy for scoring extra lives. The one gripe that I have with the first Crash Bandicoot is you can't collect the gem in every single level on your first visit. As you can see here, I got 40 out of 43 crates. At the checkpoint mark where we plowed through that huge wall of crates, you might have seen a outline for a green circle. See, the way that this game works that's different from the other ones is that you actually have to do a lot of backtracking after you've collected specific gems that will create gem platforms. Those gem platforms will help you get the crates that you missed. Why this annoys me is because it usually only gives you like 2 or 3 boxes. It's pretty frustrating because it feels like they could have just avoided that altogether. Because later sequels wouldn't make you do all of that. You could get the gems in almost every single level on your first try. The occasional backtrack happened, sure, but it wasn't in an abundance like this game is. But like I said, I have a practice run. I have practiced this game twice. Once on the original PlayStation 1 version, and once on the Insane Trilogy PlayStation 4 version. Crash 1 is a hard game, especially on the PlayStation 1 where you have to play every level perfectly. I'm happy to report that playing the Insane Trilogy version, my trek through this game was a lot easier. Okay, but now that I've gotten the technicalities out of the way, can we just talk about these levels? So we're in an entirely 2D level compared to the first 2, which were 3D. And to me, the Crash 1 formula works the absolute best in 2D. I don't know what it is about Crash 1, but I think that some of the best levels are usually the 2D ones. As you can see here, at the end of every Tana bonus round, you'll see Tana, and then Dr. Cortex will swoop in and kidnap her again. In the original game, she just kind of vanished. It was weird. So you had to wonder why Crash couldn't just save her. Because he had plenty of time, but now they've kind of, like, remedied it by having Cortex swoop in and kidnap her. I like to believe that Tana is using the secret bonus rounds to try to escape from Cortex Castle to get to Crash. So now we have a boulder chase level. Oh boy, these are frantic. You run towards the camera, so you're kind of limited on your vision, while also being chased by a boulder that can one-shot you. If there's any gripe that I have with these levels, though, is that it takes away your Aku Aku masks. So basically, I just completed... what was it? The Great Gate? Yeah, I think that was his name. The Great Gate. And I had 2 Aku Akus when I finished, right? So now that I've entered this level, I don't have those 2 Aku Aku masks. And I'm not going to have them in the level afterwards. It's because the boulder has to one-hit kill you. So I get that, that's fine and all, but why couldn't you give us back the Aku Aku masks that we lost when we entered this level, when we go into the next one? It just seems fair, but I get it, it's a challenge. And just like that, we have another gem. So you'll be noticing a pattern. We can get a gem, we can't get a gem. We can't get a gem, we can get a gem. But we have 2 gems now. There are 26 gems in the entire game, and if you want the perfect ending, you're going to have to complete every level 100% and collect them all. So now we're at our first stream level. Just about every level in the game, at least in terms of its aesthetic themes and style, will appear twice. So we're gonna see like another boulder chase level later on. We'll see another river level later on. It gets repetitive, but you only see each theme about twice, so nothing really overstays its welcome. And I'm okay with that. Some of them feel like they could have gone on for like a 3rd level, but, you know, I decided not to. Oh, another technicality I'd like to point out is that the original Crash Bandicoot did not have analog support. The dual analog controllers did not exist at the time of Crash Bandicoot's first release, so you had to play the entire game with the D-pad. The Sane Trilogy gives you full analog support, and I hardly used it. You get so used to how the game is styled with the D-pad that you play it with the D-pad. I know it's weird. I really tried to play it with the analog stick, but I just couldn't bring myself to. It felt so unnatural. 2 and 3 benefit from it though, because 2 and 3 were actually built with the analog in mind. Well, 2 was during the Platinum release. But my point is they control much better with the analog than the first game. The first game is just a game that I felt benefited the best from a D-pad. Which I know sounds awkward when you're playing in a 3D space, but to me, it worked the absolute best. And I was panicking there. I was having a hard time positioning myself on the platforms. This is a post-commentary Let's Play. For my, pun entirely intended, sanity, I thought it would be wise to do a post-commentary run of the first game. Because, like I said, the first game is really hard. And if I was to commentate on it the entire time, I'm pretty sure I would struggle a lot. So I thought I would do a post-commentary run. That way I can get all my thoughts out there, while simultaneously still having decent runs of the levels, because I have to concentrate while playing this game. Seriously, some of these levels demand too much from you. But anyways, guys, we're going to wrap up today's episode with the first boss of the game, Papu Papu. And this boss fight was somehow made a little more difficult. Sort of. Papu Papu originally had 3 hit points. Now, for some reason, he has 5. And after you would hit him, he would have about 3 seconds of invincibility frames, so you couldn't hit him. They took out the invincibility frames, so the boss was made longer, but still easier, if that makes sense. But he's down just like that. Papu has been pummeled. But anyways, guys, that's the end of part 1. I'll see you guys in the next episode, where we continue on Island 1.